Coast FM 963, you're on Roar Youth Disability Radio. I'm Brando McMillan, and joining me all the way from the UK is a wheelchair rugby veteran. I'm, of course, talking about Tarr. Rob, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man, and it's morning here, Brandon. Early morning.
That's right, it'll be like 8 a.m. or something like that, right?
That's right, yeah.
So, Rob, before we go on with the show, what's your disability and how does it affect you?
I broke my neck when I was 16 in a car accident. So, classed as a tetraplegic. My brakes for C5, C6, paralysed basically from the chest down. My disability is classed as incomplete, so I've got little patches of sensation. But basically, I've got pretty strong arms, got no hand dexterity, I can't use the fingers. Luckily, I'm independent, so I can transfer, drive, jumping out of the chair and things. So, lucky in them respects.
And can play wheelchair rugby, which leads to my next question. Rob, how did you get introduced to the sport?
When I was going through the spinal unit, they always introduce the spinal patients to different sports, try and get you fit. So when you're ready to get out, you're going to be independent, good for the mind, good for the body. And a group of Canadians came over and introduced this sport called murder ball.
And to all the listeners out there, murder ball was the original name of wheelchair rugby before it got a rebrand for the Paralympics, which is a shame because I think it's a really cool name. But anyways, Rob, how do you play wheelchair rugby?
Basically, it's played on a basketball court. So there's 8 players on the court. We play with the volleyball, 4 8-minute quarters with a stop clock. It's a mixed gender sport. So men and women play together, which is an unusual...
that's like unheard
sport,
of.
Yeah, men and women play the game together. We all get different classifications, obviously, depending on our disability. So the one with the less function would be a half point. The most functional players would be a 3.5. So you can only ever have 8 points on court. So basically, it's like playing a game of poker against as a coach. It's a mixture between basketball. So when the ball comes in, you go over the halfway line, and then you can't come back into your back court. We score a try by carrying the ball over a touch line. So we've got like 2 cones. You go over the cone, whether it be any 2 wheels over the cone scores the try. Cheers are made for full protection. We use strapping, gloves. It's a good sport for anybody to take up and be comfortable in and just enjoy the environment. It's developing all the time. So it started off, as I said, with just a group of guys with broken necks in Winnipeg in 1973, just playing in the spinal unit. And now, we've got so many disciplines of the sport. So we've got the Paralympic version that, I coach and I've played. We've also got wheelchair rugby 5s now. So that opens the sport to more disabilities. So you've got 5 players per side rather than 4. And then obviously we've got a massive youth project as well. So it's great. So you've got like a playground to podium pathway for everybody, Start as a kid, play for the clubs. And then one day, the ultimate, if you can get to be an elite, then represent your country at Paralympic Games.
The sky's the limit in the world of wheelchair rugby, that's for sure. So, Rob, before I let you go, to those out there that want to give wheelchair rugby a go, but maybe too scared to give it a go, what advice would you give those people to help motivate them?
If you do a little bit of a Google search around where you live on wheelchair rugby, you will find clubs. There's lots of brilliant players in Australia. Brad Dubley, I used to play with him. He's the international coach now. And you've got, ambassadors like Riley Batt, Chris Bond, Shea Graham, all great players. You can look up any of these players in Australia and find what clubs they are. And then when you go to the club, you can contact them. I can honestly say wheelchair rugby is a family of people. Everybody's welcomed. You go to the club, we can get you to one of our club chairs and just take it steady from there. As I say, don't be put off by when we talk about it being aggressive and, hard hitting. It's a very gentle and enjoyable sport for anybody. So if you want to have a go, get out there, Google it and find yourself a club and you'll be welcomed.
Well, there you go. Well, Rob, that's all the time we have left. I just want to say thank you so much for having this chat with me. It was very interesting learning all things about wheelchair rugby. There was like some things even I didn't know about when looking into it.
I've been around a long time, Brandon. Yeah, so it's my pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. I'm Brando McMillan, and I was just talking to a wheelchair rugby veteran, Tarr, right here on Roar Youth Disability Radio on Coast FM 963.